And now the Venezuelan community is on edge after Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem rolled back the Biden administration TPS extension. This decision contributes to President Donald Trump's crackdown on immigration. Caplin News reporter Samantha Gutierrez has the story.
The Trump administration revoked the 18-month extension of temporary protective status for nearly 600,000 Venezuelans living in the U.S., almost half of which reside here in Florida. I spoke to an immigration lawyer about what's next for those left in limbo.
It's not final, although from the looks of everything that's happening, the likelihood that it's going to be extended is not great.
Idalis Perez has worked with immigration in the community for over 30 years, recently staying busy studying the administration's new orders that crack down on immigration.
Secretary Mayorkas put in place an 18-month extension of the temporary protective status. I rolled that back. We're going to make sure that's used properly, and that's the president's heart and desire as well.
Congress created TPS for nations dealing with armed conflicts or environmental disasters. Today, nationals from 17 countries have TPS, but this revoked extension only affects Venezuelans. The U.S. opened TPS for Venezuelans in 2021 and then again in 2023, creating two separate filing processes for people from the same country.
I think that's where the issue that the Trump administration is raising about some issues with redesignating. And I think that's where the administration is looking at.
She urges the community not to worry, but to stay ahead of their status.
Well, first of all, you have to see an attorney to see whether there are options.
Individuals with asylum cases, even if administratively closed, can still request a work permit without reopening their case.
So it's not over for a work authorization and a license and lawful status in the U.S.
She recommends keeping evidence of residence in the U.S. for over 2 years to avoid an expedited removal. It can be birth certificates, marriage certificates, or bank statements.
They're not going to get picked up and deported. If they haven't filed an asylum because they had status, then perhaps that's an exception to the rule of filing within the year. We need to find alternatives to stay in lawful status. It's sad, but it's not the end.
A new Homeland Security must decide by February 1st whether to extend TPS for cases ending in April and decide by July 31st for those TPS that expire in September. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Samantha Gutierrez.